Alright boys, I'm back, and wow, WWE did it once again. They failed. Before we get into it, these are all my opinions, so don't get your panties in a bunch. If you haven't heard, Stardust beat Drew McIntyre for the title on SmackDown. So now, WrestleMania is going to be Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes for the title. And I am so sick and tired of Triple H and his awful booking. Again, we are getting another WrestleMania with Stardust in the main event. Since this guy returned to the WWE, he has been in every single WrestleMania. WrestleMania 38 was his debut against Seth Rollins. The very next year, at WrestleMania 39, he was fighting in the main event against Roman Reigns for the title in a losing effort. At WrestleMania 40, he defeated Roman for the title in one of the most overbooked finisher spam matches of all time. At Mania 41, he was defending the title against John Cena, which he lost, thank God. And now, at WrestleMania 42, 4 years in a row, Stardust is once again in the main event defending the title against Randy Orton. This isn't entertainment anymore. This isn't even just taking the piss.
This is bad comedy.
Because who in their right mind wants to see 4 different WrestleManias back to back with the same jobber in the main event? No wonder nobody's buying tickets to Mania 42. Why would they? We have seen this already a billion times in just a handful of years. Triple H doesn't know what he is doing. This man has put Stardust, one of the worst wrestlers of all time, in the main event of WrestleMania for years now. And for some unknown reason, some unholy reason, this dude cannot come up with anything new for the biggest show of the year, even though that is his job as the head of creative. He could have kept Drew McIntyre as the champion and used this time to create a feud between Drew and Randy, so there could be a reason for fans to get invested in their match at WrestleMania 42. But no, of course not. With WrestleMania 42 being just a month away, Triple H and his big nose came up with this wonderful idea of changing the champion out of nowhere back to the same jobber that has been holding the title hostage for years now. And why? There's no reason to this, no logic, none of this makes any sense, which is the insulting part. We can all see that this is a terrible decision, but for some unknown reason, the WWE can't come to terms with that fact. Weeks ago, when they had that multi-department emergency meeting for the low ticket sales for WrestleMania 42, what did the company say? They said how they're changing up the creative plans for WrestleMania 42. And I said how that is bullshit and that they have no creative plans for Mania this year, and how nothing is being thought out before it's executed, and that everything is being cooked up on the spot, most likely during the show itself. And now look where we find ourselves. Back in the same exact situation we have been for the past 4 years. Triple H cannot do his job. Under his creative leadership, the product has been dying. And it hasn't been a slow and painful death. No, it has been a car crash, a dumpster fire. In just a handful of years, this company has jacked up their prices to ungodly levels. They have been selling their broadcasting rights to anybody with a pulse, forcing fans to sign up for multiple awful streaming services just to watch a WWE show. Storylines and feuds have now been replaced by ads, and pay-per-views now consist of only 4 matches. And then the suits wonder why their pockets are getting lighter and lighter by the day, because nobody wants to pay for this crap. And why would they? To see Stardust main event WrestleMania once again and watch him fail at wrestling again? This man has been in every Mania main event since 2023, and it's always the same thing. A boring, non-existing feud paid off by a sloppy, overbooked, finisher spam, non-stop outside interference match. The only type of match that Stardust can wrestle, because he is an underdeveloped jobber that has been pushed to the main event by Triple H against everybody's wishes. Nobody wanted to see Cody as the face of this company. And for a wrestler as Stardust, that only wrestles one type of match, you would assume he would be good at it. But no, of course, Cody somehow still sucks at wrestling his one type of match. Even though he has been doing it for years now. Every time he steps in that ring, he looks like a dead fish, flopping around on the mat, looking like a doofus. And Triple H expects the fans to be okay with that fact and just to buy up the Cody slop and enjoy it. And don't you even dare and complain, because then you are not a real fan. And Triple H wishes he could just tell you to fuck off, stop being a critic and start being a fan. And Triple H's lack of creativity doesn't just end there. Finn Balor also just turned on the Judgment Day. Remember all the way back at last year's Mania when Dominic betrayed Finn to win the Intercontinental title, and it seemed like they were going to do something between those two? I remember that perfectly. But do you know who didn't remember that? Triple H, because nothing came out of it for a whole year. Triple H memory hold that moment for a whole year and is now just throwing it out there with no rhyme or reason. The feud between Balor and Dominic should have happened already. Finn should have turned on the Judgment Day weeks after Mania, not a whole year later. The match between Balor and Dominic should have happened at SummerSlam. Balor should have already gone after Dominic and the Intercontinental title, but I guess it's never too late. Oh wait, yes it is, because now that Balor finally decided to turn on Dominic a whole year later, well, Dominic is no longer the Intercontinental Champion. So this match between Balor and Mysterio will not even be for the title that originally started this whole mess, since Dominic lost the title 2 weeks ago. Finn waited so long to get his revenge on Dominic Mysterio for stealing the Intercontinental title from him that Dominic just ended up losing it to somebody random. So now Finn has lost his opportunity to claim the Intercontinental title. This is why everybody is saying nothing makes sense. Because it doesn't. In what world, what universe would a booker book a match where the title is taken off the champion, and then 2 weeks later, that same booker decides to create a match with the old champion against somebody that originally started a feud with them for the title he just lost 2 weeks ago? Triple H doesn't know what he's doing. He is just throwing shit out there and hoping something sticks. But wait, I forgot. Triple H is a long-term booker. His storylines just take time. It's definitely not because he forgets what he has done or just does things with no plan or intentions to follow up on them at a reasonable time. No. It's definitely not that. Just let him cook. It's not like the moment is now long gone and everybody has forgotten why Balor is angry with Dom and that the original MacGuffin is no longer in play. No, impossible. Triple H is just a different kind of booker. Yeah, he's a shit one. He never learns from his mistakes. He never adapts and he never changes his formula. It's always the same garbage with the same 5 people in the same situations. No wonder fans are no longer watching. Who wants to watch the same 5 matches over and over again till the end of time? This company is known by its different eras, and the best eras of this company are when the creative is at its best. When creative is shooting out of all cylinders, that is when this company is doing its best. But now that creative has gone bankrupt and they don't know what they're doing, this company is going through its worst possible era. And the only way to fix this is if you change up creative. Thank you for watching.